Congratulations, Bill, on a recognition well deserved. And on behalf of all the students who worked under you, none of them who wanted to leave when they graduated, a big attaboy. Way to go, Bill. We love you.
Hey, it's Walt Lindelof from Mark and Walt in the Morning on Sunny 101.9 and Media Brew Communications in Marquette, Michigan. I just wanted to send a special congratulations out to Bill Hart on his recognition because Bill was my first boss back in 1987. He taught me a lot of skills that I use to this day doing the news, doing radio, and serving our community. Bill, you deserve every bit of recognition for all you've done. It's been a pleasure knowing you all these years, and really it is my honor to say congratulations, my friend. All the best. Great work, Bill Hart.
Hey, Bill. From operations manager to news director to television star, you've just about done it all. You know what Wittgenstein would say about that. He'd say, congratulations, and so do I. This honor is so well deserved.
It's an honor to be standing here before this company of professionals. I'm truly humbled by the recognition. When I learned of the award and the conference, I'd been wondering whether or not I still had a suit that fit. Dress up is a little different at the UP for some who've been up there. I had to ask Rachel Krause about cocktail attire. She confirmed it would be a coat and tie. In the UP, it would just mean don't wear a plaid shirt, you know? Yeah, I barely had a suit when I hired on at WNMU Public Broadcasting in 1981 as a radio news director, TV host of a public affairs program still going on called Media Meet. And I met a lot of great people through that program and worked with a lot of great professionals. In fact, I owe a huge debt to the pros who took me in. One I'd like to mention right now especially is Stephen Dupra, who is the station manager when I hired on at WNMU-FM. Steve just passed away about a week or so ago, and it'll be a big loss. He was a terrific guy. He was completely, as a kid, he was overwhelmed with all kinds of electronic things, you know, or electric things. He would stand, I was told, in front of a jukebox and just watch the thing for hours. He was a great boss and taught me a lot about people, taught me a lot about radio, and taught me a lot about what it means to be a real professional. I retired in 2004 as radio operations manager, Pat mentioned. 4 years later, I was asked to fill in as a producer host of Media Meet again, the program that I'd done years before. That lasted until 2019 when TV was finally able to hire a full-time producer again. Since then, as a full-time audience member, patron, and occasional volunteer, I've watched the current threat emerge to the future of public broadcasting and what is still a bitterly divided country. What concerns me most overall, and I think Dr. Smith brought this up pretty eloquently. What concerns me most overall is the future of small member stations, especially those in rural areas. The very justification of public broadcasting was bound up in serving those communities. And I mean, I saw some that started as literally a stick in the woods, pretty much as he described. But as those assemble here to find a way forward, here are a few modest things I'd like to see. I can't speak really to the big ticket challenges for public radio. It's hard to replace that kind of money that was distributed by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and all the rules that went with it to help keep everyone honest and help people improve. But there are a few modest things I'd like to see. I'd like to see NPR and PBS deeply cut rates for rural stations who stand to be ruined by cutbacks forced by the CPB closure. Perhaps there also could be some sort of funding negotiation with the federal government solely on behalf of community stations for the kind of service they offer. I'd like state funds for public stations to support the operation of the emergency alert system, which benefits all of us. I'd like to see return of Michigan's, I know public stations might recognize this. I'd like to see the return of Michigan's 50% direct state tax credit for listener contributions to public stations, which have been shown to add a multiplier to consumer spending, especially in the arts. And on the news and information front, this might be controversial to some. I'd like to see a national return to something like the fairness doctrine, some set of common standards for nonpartisan news reporting across the industry. Right now, I think there's a low point in terms of the public trust for media, partly because of political divisions, but partly because of the way things are being reported. And I think, right now what we're seeing is in some ways a lack of trust in public media, much like we see a lack of trust in Congress. Whatever the course, one thing seems clear. Status quo really no longer applies for public stations. There's not much I can really say about that right now. There's so many people working on this problem, and I'm hoping that the solutions will come eventually. In the novel A Farewell to Arms, Ernest Hemingway, whose family had a camp not that far from here, in Walloon Lake near Petoskey, he wrote, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places." I think that's something to remember. It's my fervent hope that we find the strength and support to continue that mission of programming excellence and community service that we've seen from public stations across the country, especially in rural areas, underserved areas. Meanwhile, thank you for what you do every day, and thank you for honoring me as a peer for what was truly my great pleasure to have done. Thank you.